So Scott is out there shooting a cameo for a guy from Wisconsin, and in solidarity, he has gone out in the snow in Utah, and he's shooting a cameo for this dude in his t-shirt. Absolutely insane. Hope he enjoys it. Almost biffing it. That's commitment right there. Is it a brisk 22 out there, Scott?
I'm so stupid. That was fun though.
Yeah, I think he'll like it.
I hope so. I'm not doing. So I'm not. I'm not doing a second take.
All right, so I'm at the Health Plus Clinic. This is my primary care doctor in Springfield, Utah. And don't worry about me. I am totally indestructible. But if you followed me a couple years ago on the 2022 tour, you know that I have had 5 bouts of this like E. coli infection thing. It got so bad I went to the hospital once because of it. And last year in Europe, it only came back one time. But since then, I've had 2 other times where I'm now so familiar with this thing that like it came back and it got to be like 6 o'clock at night. And I told her, I'm like, okay, book a room for the next couple of days. It's happening again. And the last 2 times my body, I guess, beat it back or something. I don't know what's going on, and I need to be healthy for this season. I got big plans. Don't want to spoil anything, but I'm planning on winning the Pro Worlds this year. So we're gonna see if I'm gonna live to see 2025. I am so unhappy right now. So first off, it's not cancer. Which, by the way, I'm happy about that part. But apparently, I need to go to a urologist, and they're going to put a scope up someplace that scopes aren't supposed to go. And the only redeeming thing about this is that I just put a visual in all of your heads that you're not going to be able to get out tonight.
Scott said to get him at exactly 8:35.
Right.
You are 1 minute and 33 seconds late.
Oh my god. So
What's
check
it-
it out. I was going to buy a fancy jacket, but I decided it was more important to represent.
Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah, I want everybody to know exactly who I am, what I do, who we are, what we're about at the film festival.
We're about frisbees. Film and frisbees. So the schedule for the film festival has been pushed back a little bit. We were supposed to start transportation about 8:45, but it looks like it's been pushed back to 10:30. So we'll see what that does to the whole schedule of the entire film festival. Not Just a Shot is supposed to air at 11:30, so who knows when they're going to decide to show it. But we'll be there.
All right, so there was a transportation problem at the film festival, but we have 2 open spots in our truck. We have 2 lone filmmakers, so we're going to have a party on the way to the premiere.
You're going to bring the party with us.
Oh, it's going to be the party truck.
Awesome.
Shooting and premiering at the same time.
Yeah.
And where are you from?
New York,
New York. That's
Where in New York?
Bronx.
Oh, right on.
Bronx, yeah. I was born in Arkansas though, so I'm just a transplant from Arkansas.
Okay.
And
Grew up in Brooklyn, New York. That's cool.
you're a filmmaker?
Filmmaker,
Beautiful.
I hear that.
actor, no, theatrical acting. I
Good,
did that
that's
for
cool.
years,
That's cool. I think it's the greatest platform for an artist because you can like combine everything, like music, visuals, story,
Yeah.
narration, whatever. You know, it's the ultimate platform to create something creative. I mean, yeah, for me, for sure, it is.
Well, I think that was the appeal for me too, was that there was this, all my experience in theater and all that, really came in handy.
Yeah.
And I also did stand-up comedy.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah,
I love
so
stand-up
started
comedy.
out in the entertainment. So,
So what was your guys' names again?
Emmett Thrower from New York, Bronx.
and I'm Demeter Laurent from Budapest, Hungary.
Don't ask me to spell that.
And I don't have the money to create like a whole, sci-fi city and set up and robots and stuff like that. So I had to animate it, but it was fun. So, but I started as like, I don't know, 18 years old or something. Now I'm 42, so I'm doing it for a while now.
Dang.
Oh, okay.
It's fun. I mean, you don't really have limitations other than your imagination. Yeah, that's right.
Of course.
It's up the skies down here.
Thank you.
Holy shit. Scorpius.
No way.
That's amazing. I knew that, but I didn't know that it's going to be here already and stuff
That's a handsome face right there.
Hello. Good. How are you doing?
That's cool.
Hi. How are you going to feel?
Michael Jordan comes in. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we met you, and we met Emmett,
Yeah.
and you guys met for the first time.
Yes.
You just happened to have been added to the same post. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's coincidence, I guess. But
I would like to start today off by welcoming up the founder and director of Scorpius Fest, Mr. Stefan Olsen.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the honor of your presence here today. This will be the 6th year of Scorpius Fest. Okay, without further ado, let's kick this off. All right.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott Stokely. I have played disc golf a long time.
Both of us.
All right, let's switch microphones for you. Test. All right.
Yeah, I would like to ask, how much direction did it take for him to tell the story the way he told me? Because I think he's a great storyteller, right? I don't know how much you had to put, like, with the editing and everything, I can see that you put a lot of energy, but I'm interested in how much direction you gave.
Right. So what happened was we shot the entire interview once in Wisconsin, and it turned out took like 3 hours. Way too long. We're like, this is too much. We don't want this much. We reshot it in Detroit. The entire time we were thinking, okay, what do we actually want to include? What's the important information? And so Scott has obviously lived the whole story, and he's told the story on his channel and on the internet. And so he's got more information than I wanted to actually tell in the documentary. And so it was more of taking everything that he had to say and kind of just guiding it to something that was concise and made sense and was relevant to the story. So for the most part, Scott could have just told the entire thing by himself, but I just kind of stepped into certain points. It was like, okay, we want to start moving this direction now. We've talked about this enough, stuff like that.
Yeah, but we didn't write anything. That was off the cuff.
Yep.
Scott, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What's it like for you to watch this documentary?
I got emotional again. I didn't want to. I cried in front of a girl. I'm older. I'm allowed to say that. No, it's. I mean, it's just seeing your life story on. I mean, it's emotional to me still.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not just about frisbee golf. It's about getting older and not wanting to be forgotten and this thing that you like. That's. I think anybody older can relate to that. Like, that's why there's headstones, because we don't want to be forgotten. And so that was really important to me. So I can't not be emotional.
Yeah, and it makes me feel lucky as a filmmaker because a story like that, it doesn't happen every day, especially when you have access to tell it. Like I was the only one that reached out to Scott to offer to tell the story. There's thousands of other people that could have. And so I'm fortunate to be able to tell the story. The entire documentary I saw in bits and pieces on the internet as it happened. And then as soon as I saw the very end of that speech, in my mind I was like, okay, there's all these bits and pieces out there that tell the story, but you got to kind of do a scavenger hunt to find it. And so I was like, I need to take all of those pieces, put them in one spot so people can just sit down and watch it. And so that's how it happened.
Great.
It's so great. It's so inspiring. I just really love
what you've done with this. I'm curious, at what point in the journey did you actually, Kendra, at what point in Scott's journey did you actually jump in? And where were you physically present? Or was it all after the fact? Or
That's a good question. So watching the internet part of it, like the backstory, I saw the whole thing. So all of his updates, after the tournament, whatever, videos he was making, which you saw clips of, I saw all of those. And then it was after the entire story was over. That's when I got involved. Because I saw the skins match, the video, the speech. I was like, okay, I gotta tell the story. So I commented on his Facebook post and was like, hey, let me tell the story. He said yes. And then the only things that we really shot was the interview, practice round. You saw some clips in Detroit, and that interview with Simon. That's pretty much all we shot. So everything else was either from GK Pro, which we gotta thank GK Pro for providing the skins match footage, and his YouTube channel, and then internet clips and photos. So
thank you for sharing your story, first of all. A lot of those scenes, you were very vulnerable. Were you ever that vulnerable on your YouTube videos as well, or did this documentary kind of really pull that out of you?
No, I'm honest. So I wrote my autobiography that came out, and when I wrote my autobiography, I decided when I was going to write it, I was either going to be honest or not write it. And then I was like, oh shit, this is just going to be some stuff in there. I'm very embarrassed by it. But it's honest or nothing. And so that's just what I told the same story online. It's honest. What's actually been great for my company and my brand and my business has been apparently people connect with me because I fail and share it. And people have connected to that. So it turned out to be a good business move, but that wasn't why I did it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Okay, so without any further pause, let's go on to our next film.
that was a long day, Scott.
That was a long day. It was an amazing day.
That was incredible. There's some incredible films
They
there.
were incredible films. My personal favorite was the one you made.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like Clone. Clone was pretty sweet. And, of course, our friend, Cilio.
Yeah.
That's why I like these festivals.
So here's the reason why. The only place it doesn't exist in the country is New York.
Really?
Because there's just not, there's such a
No
huge
place.
urban area without park space. Other big cities have the problem with in urban areas without park space. There's a couple courses.
But this story was just incredible.
Thank you.
And I'm a person that loves when a person tells their story their way. So I really love the stories even more where just one person just telling the story and then the film is created around that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we did have Simon involved, but Simon's one of the most respected figures in disc golf right now.
Yeah.
And he was, he was the only person that was the competition at that moment. So I think it was totally appropriate to have his input.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fine.
And it's also Simon. It's like
Yeah, everyone loves Simon.
Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine.
It was really an amazing film, I thought, too. I really
Thank you.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't. Well, number one, I didn't know anything about it.
Right.
And I'm like, golf, how does that work?
Yep.
And I'm like, ooh, that looked like it'd be fun if I knew how to throw a frisbee or something. But I don't.
All right, so you finished the editing for the day. It's been a long day. It's been great at the screening. I'll be here meeting with Paramount. You